All right, your tour begins now. Once you access the course, the very first thing you will be taken to is the announcement page. I will always have tips for the lesson for that week on this page, information about the class, or if there's a change, I'll post it right here. So the announcement this week is to have you get to know me a little bit. Please take time to read through it. So the more you know about me, the easier it is for you to address me, I'm sure. The next thing I'd like you to go to is content. When we go to the content page, this week you have a lot to go through because it's the beginning of a class. So we have the overview page, gives you a summary of how to email me, phone number, how to connect to my virtual office. So if you ever need to have one-on-one tutoring with me, we can do it via Adobe Connect. You just have to send me an email and we'll set up an appointment. You can have bookmarks for your class. If there's certain pages that you want to reference, you can add them here. The course schedule, and those are things you can look at. The next thing I want to take you down is this is the table of content. So we have 14 weeks of lessons. I don't believe that you have these released yet to you, but you'll have those later on. You need to start with the welcome folder. The welcome folder has a lot of great information in it. The syllabus, you need to know what the parameters are of the course, our course schedule, what are the university policies, are you in a group, orientation to online learning, if you've never taken an online course, what kind of supports we have for you. So please take time to go through the welcome page. Just starting the course off on the right foot is a huge deal. The next folder is the iLearn 3.0 tour. So with that is how do you use this online system? How do you make it post to the discussion board? How do you submit assignments? So what do you do with the quizzes? If you open a quiz, you have to submit it. And if you submit it blank, it's a 0. And so if you take the quiz again, it averages the 2 scores together. So when you're clicking on a quiz, make sure you're ready to take the quiz. So please make sure you go through how to use this new system. For some of you it's new. For some of you who have had online courses before in this particular system, this is where it's going to be from here on out. The next thing is our textbook. The textbook, you can look at the whole entire book at one shot, or you can just go section by section, which is what we'll be doing. So you can always click here to find out what does it look like. The textbook is not really where the course's information comes from. The textbook is just backup information. Whoa, it went really fast. So our very first lesson is on least common multiples. So after you go through the online lesson, if you're like, wow, I'm not so sure about that, you can go and read about it. Okay, so I'm going to click back to the table of contents, so you can always link back if you see right up here. And in the table of contents, here we go. So textbook, lesson 1. So once you go through these things up here, lesson 1. All right, so lesson 1, we've got orientation to online learning. Questions. If you ever have a question, we will always have a discussion board in every lesson for you to post questions about that particular week's work. You can post a question there. I can answer a question. If you happen to know the answer to somebody else's question, please feel free to answer it. But if you have a question, look there first. Somebody else may have had that same question. So we have an introduction. Each week there'll be an introduction to the lesson. It's basically what are we doing for the week, what's due by Thursday night, what's due by Saturday night. And when you're on this page, there'll be these little arrows to go to the next page in the lesson. So you don't have to keep going back to the table of contents or the lesson. The video instruction is great because this gives you a walkthrough of the syllabus. And then there's a syllabus quiz. So on the next page, you get to take the quiz. After you take the quiz, we do weekly voice threads, so you'll want to know what that is. I had to learn what that is. I hadn't done those before. So there's a video on how that works and how that'll affect you. So you'll be doing that every week. This is the assignment directions for that. So again, I just keep clicking on these arrows and it just walks me right through the course. This is the actual lesson for the week. So every week your lesson will be recorded on here, and this particular lesson looks like it's 32 minutes long. Some will have more than one lesson in a week. And then underneath it says optional textbook link, and it'll take you back to the textbook that I showed you earlier. Now, to help you out, I went ahead and wrote down where the information is. It's on see the bottom of textbook page 15 and the top of 16 for information on prime factorization. Page 20, section 1.2, problems A through H are the only problems in the textbook on this topic. Now, one of the things about the textbook when you click on it is, dun, 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 dun. Oh, look where we're at. This is page 64. Let's take a look here if I can get to, it said to page 15 or 16. We're scrolling. There's page 9, least common multiple. Page 12. Not sure. Maybe it's because I had it in a PDF reader, but let's see here. 14. Page up. There we are. Bottom of page 15. Least common multiple. Least common denominator. Did I get the page numbers right? Well, oh, is that prime factorization? There it is. See, I did get the page numbers right. I was like, but where does it say prime factorization? So there's just a little blurb. So you're better off with the video. So let's go back to the lesson here. However, if you need extra practice, I went ahead and put a worksheet together. And so you're welcome to do that. It's just extra practice. It's not mandatory. Once you feel comfortable with doing prime factorization and least common multiple, the very next page is a quiz. And yes, it's for a grade. So you'll be able to take the quiz here. So basically, I'm just walking you through the entire week's work. There's a weekly report, so each week you'll go ahead and submit a weekly report. It says that it's a quiz, it's a weekly report, and it does test your integrity. So again, you just walk right through. The last link I just clicked on opens up to the BYU Idaho Math Study Center, so it takes you to an external resource when you click on that next button. So if you ever need additional help, that is found at the bottom of lesson 1. So let's take a look here. We're back on the table of contents right here, contact a tutor. So that's how you just navigate through, and the next week you'll just start on lesson 2. All right, hope that helps a little bit. If you have questions though, you know how to get a hold of me. Let's see, how do I get a hold of you? Let's see in the overview page. Look, that's how you get a hold of me. Yay! All right, we're going to do great. Have a great night.